Hello and welcome to Bible Bites Daily. Today, our exploration through the book of Numbers brings us to chapter 25, a chapter marked by the pitfalls of temptation at Peor. It's a cautionary tale with timeless lessons that resonates with us today. Let's say the Israelites camped near the enticing city of Peor. It's a place filled with allure but also danger. As we venture into this chapter, let's uncover the lessons embedded in the story and consider how they apply to our lives today. First thing that we need to understand and look into is the lure of temptation. As we read Numbers 25, 1-3 verses, while Israel was staying in Shittim, the men began to indulge in immoral activities with Moabite women who invited them to be sacrifices to their gods. The people ate the sacrificial meal and bowed down before these gods. Lesson 1 emerges: the lure of temptation. The Israelites, enticed by the Moabite women and their rituals, succumbed to the temptation of compromise. It's a stark reminder that even in the midst of God's blessings, the pull of worldly allurements can be strong. Next, we talk about the devastating consequences. Continuing in Numbers 25, 4-5, so Israel yoked themselves to the Baal of Peor, and the Lord's anger burned against them. The Lord said to Moses, "Take all the leaders of this people, kill them, and expose them in broad daylight before the Lord, so that the Lord's fierce anger may turn away from Israel." This is the lesson 2 we are looking at: the devastating consequences of succumbing to temptation. The Lord's anger is kindled, and the consequences are severe. It's a sobering reminder that our choices, especially when influenced by worldly temptations, can lead to profound consequences. When we go through verses 6-8, it talks about the Israelites being brought into the camp, and it talks about the urgency of the repentance. The urgency of repentance in the midst of devastation. Phinehas takes decisive action to halt the spread of sin. His jealous response underscores the importance of swift and sincere repentance when faced with temptation. When we look into 10-13 verses, the Lord said to Moses, "Phinehas, son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, has turned my anger away from the Israelites, since he was as jealous for my honor among them as I am. I did not put an end to them in my zeal. Therefore, tell him I am making my covenant of peace with him. He and his descendants will have a covenant of a lasting priesthood, because he was jealous for the honor of his God and made atonement for the Israelites." Lesson 4 unfolds here: God's covenant of peace. Phinehas, through his jealous act, not only stops the plague but also receives God's covenant of peace. It emphasizes that sincere repentance and a jealous commitment to God's honor can lead to divine favor and restoration. So, we all went through this chapter, but how do we apply these to our lives today? Let's consider how these lessons can be a meaningful application to our lives today. How do we recognize the lure? Be aware of the allure of temptation in our lives, especially in moments of comfort and blessing. Consider the consequences. Understand that succumbing to worldly temptations can lead to devastating consequences. Urgency of repentance. Embrace the urgency of repentance. When we recognize sin, turn to God in sincere repentance without delay. Seek God's covenant of peace. Through repentance and jealous commitment to God's honor, we can experience God's covenant of peace and restoration. As we navigate the pitfalls of fear in our lives, may these lessons guide us to flee temptation, embrace repentance, and experience the covenant of peace that God offers. May you be strengthened to flee temptation, find restoration through repentance, and experience the covenant of peace that God graciously offers us. Thank you for listening. May God bless you all in abundance.